Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's my privilege to be able to present these very valuable ideas and information and inspirations to you. Title of today's presentation is From Survival to Greatness. From Survival to Greatness, Legacy of Honor. We're all caught up in the mode of surviving. Go to work, make a livelihood, have health benefits. So if somebody in the family or yourself needs to get medical attention, they're coming out with a flu or somebody has diabetes, you need medication, be able to take care of that. You need those health benefits. That's part of survival. You also need knowledge about what foods can damage you, what foods will give you health. All part of survival. And in our society, we certainly need money to survive. This involves reality issues of going to work and very often dealing with unfairness in the workplace. Perhaps a manager that's treating you unfairly, a supervisor who's perhaps picking on you, harassing you, overworking you. And that's then a reality issue for survival, going there and being feeling humiliated at work, coming home, hurt, humiliated, angry, dealing with that at home, try to clear that out so you don't take it out on your children or your parents or your spouse or your significant other. That's all survival. Maybe there's a fender bender and there's lawsuits. You have to call the police, file a police report, deal with all the claims, then deal with the insurance premiums going up. And getting the money to pay for those premiums going up. There's no end to these survival issues. It could be you have a property, somebody slipped on you, you have a lawsuit, you have to get an attorney, you have to contact your insurance company to see that they put up money for covering the legal fees that you have in this lawsuit against you. Or you're injured on the job and you need to go through the process of, say, workers' compensation. Say you got a finger seriously damaged, a leg seriously damaged, and you have to apply for the workers' compensation. You go to the employer's doctor and he says, "Oh, you're fine. You can go to work." And you go to your own doctor, he says, "No, you shouldn't be working for at least a year. That's a very serious injury. We looked at the MRI." So then you have to then deal with getting witnesses to what happened. It's all part of survival. Let's say you're married and your spouse is a misunderstanding. Person's criticizing you and saying you're spending too much money, or why are you coming home late all the time? Or jealousy about infidelity, even though you're totally faithful. And then you have to be talking to that person, trying to convince them, try to show them reality that no, you're totally faithful, you're not doing anything. The job just demands you being gone long hours. In reality, survival, not physical survival, emotional survival. Although that kind of stress from humiliation at work and conflict with your spouse can affect your physical survival. Absolutely. Somebody cuts you off on the road, you get angry, and some road rage, you get angry, you yell at the person or beep your horn. And that anger can endanger your survival because people who are chronic anger are more prone to strokes and heart attacks. So you want to be able to learn to, you say, you shouldn't be doing it. You want to get better self-control and you're failing. Or let's say you're eating, you're getting heavy, you're putting on too much weight. You go to the doctor, you get your medical results back from your blood work. Your cholesterol is too high. Your triglycerides are too high. Your blood sugar and A1C are too high. Your homocysteine is too high. Your CRP for C-reactive protein, inflammatory marker is too high. You go, what do I have to do? Because this is a path to a short life. You're not going to live much longer. You got to cut down the inflammation because all disease starts with inflammation, whether it's cancer, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, arthritis, all starts with inflammation. So then you have to finally get medications from your doctor, or if you're prone towards doing research, looking into what natural things can you take, such as garlic, ginger, curcumin, to cut fish oil, to cut down that. Realizing that fish oil can cut down your triglycerides. Doing your research to find what you could take, or taking a statin drug. The doctor says you got to take a statin drug to bring your cholesterol down, to bring down your LDL and your total cholesterol. Then you find you're getting side effects. You're getting muscle pains from it, and then come back and say, I'm getting really side effects. This thing is, my muscles are just aching and my myalgia. I'm getting this all the time. They have to then get another statin drug, or even go to another drug like ezetimibe, which another one that doesn't even work like a statin. So it's survival. This is survival. So we go, the title being From Survival to Greatness, Legacy of Honor. See, a person will say, well, how can I go from this survival to greatness? Certainly a president of the United States has that opportunity. People in leadership positions, whether it's religious leadership or political leadership, or head of major organizations, you say, well, they have this opportunity. Or celebrities, actors and actresses, movie stars, elite athletes, they have an opportunity to do something great, to not only do great things athletically or in the films, and the TV, and the movies, but they can do it in their personalized, because their voice matters. You say, well, how can I go from survival to greatness? How can I do that? I'm just trying to survive, trying to pay my bills, handle my relationship, deal with the stress, take care of my health issues, take care of the health issues of my family, the logistics, taking the kids to this doctor and that doctor, taking them to school, taking them to karate classes, dance classes, the whole logistics, coordinations, survival logistics issues. These are problems that every normal human being has. And so what I want to present to you is how you can go from this survival to greatness. And some people, just by handling the survival things, get depressed. They say, I'm not actualizing my potential. When you don't actualize your potential, it causes depression. Absolutely. Failure to actualize your potential causes depression. You say, I'm leading a mediocre life. I'm not really doing anything of significance. I have trouble just paying my bills, looking after the kids. Just maintenance, just maintaining, just survival. So how can I go to greatness? And the way to do it is through a legacy of honor. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to achieve this legacy of honor, exactly how to do it. So you see, the survival aspect is universal. And we're talking about achieving greatness. Potential to be great is also universal. And I'll tell you how it works. And it's through creating a legacy of honor. So let's first talk about how to achieve honor, and then how to have a legacy of honor. To achieve honor I'm defining as loyalty to your highest constructive values. Loyalty being to your highest constructive values, calling that honor. As enshrined in the 4 commandments of honor, also known as the 4 self-commandments of honor, or what you can call the 4 principles of honor. And the 4 commandments of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And then one of 2. Either take, I seek always to serve my highest values, or God, your wish is my only wish, for those of us that believe in God, such as I do. So those are the 4 commandments of honor. Now, knowing the 4 commandments of honor is not enough to create a legacy of honor. To really have a legacy of honor and achieve greatness through that legacy, you have to commit your life to those 4 commandments of honor. You have to commit all of your days on this earth to 4 commandments of honor. So that what's involved is taking the pledge to become a disciple of honor. It's a pledge to become a disciple of honor. We've had over 1,000 people take this pledge, and the effects are amazing and immediate. Here's the pledge that I have my people take. Have them raise their right hand. This is important, they're raising their hand, and they repeat these words after me. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself for all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. And I say, welcome to the brotherhood, welcome to the sisterhood. 95% of the people feel good right away. 95% of the people feel more hope right away. About 92% feel more meaning in lives right away. But the legacy of honor is right in that pledge. The legacy of honor is in the pledge itself. And I'll teach them to those I love. And I'll teach them to those I love. That's the legacy. So you teach them then to your children, your nieces, your nephews, your parents, your wife, close friends. So basically what you want is for your great-great-great-great-grandchildren to say, you know, our great-great-great-grandfather Jose, we learned the way of honor through him. He passed this way of honor down to us. We got those thoughts from him. We are all following this path of honor, the way of honor, because of him. That's greatness. That's your legacy of honor. Now, we want to strengthen the probability that you're going to live those commandments of honor. So we have what I call the bridge from honor to reality. So after you say the 4 commandments of honor, for me, be God, your wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality, my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? That's the bridge from honor as enshrined in the 4 commandments of honor to reality, to situations you're in with your spouse, at work, with your children, with friends, financial doings. That's the bridge that you say, well, I'm in this situation. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So you're saying it 3 times a day to have yourself prepped and always ready to go with it. And then in any situation you're in, you apply that as a standard. So it's not like, what will make me happy? What's the easiest for me to do? And let me tell you, there's no such thing as true happiness without honor. There's no such thing as true happiness without honor. You can have fun, pleasure, excitement, entertainment, but not true happiness. Without honor, it's impossible. So if you pursue honor, happiness will come. True happiness will come. So you don't have to pursue happiness. Just pursue honor. That's part of your legacy. Just pursue honor. True happiness will come. So the standard is not what will make me happy. No. What's the honorable thing for me to do or think or say in this situation? Well, let's say you're getting a thought that you want to just yell at somebody and tell them off, and you go, well, that's not honorable. So you balance it with the thought, I wish you well. You're saying to yourself, I wish you well. That's honorable. Now, it's not going to make the negative thought go away right away. It's not. But at least you're not feeding it. And it'll come less often with less duration and less intensity. But regardless of what happens, honor is an end in itself. You're living an honorable way by balancing with an honorable thought. Honor is an end in itself. Now, you're not responsible for the negative thoughts that come into your mind. Let's say you get angry or you want to punch somebody, slap somebody, say something nasty. You're not responsible for that. That's based on your genetics, family upbringing, societal norm. You're responsible for the thought you choose to balance it with, not fight it with. You're not fighting it, you're balancing it. Now, I wish you well. For example, I wish you well. I really do. You've balanced it. Now, so you have the 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, and realizing that honor is the gold standard for assessing every thought, word, and action. And if ever you cross that line and you get into an argument, you do something that you know is an honor, as soon as you see it, you go, wait a minute, I apologize, please forgive me. I'm co-creating this problem, I don't want to do that. Forgive me. So this is the way of having a legacy of honor. This is the way. This is the path of going from survival to true greatness. And you didn't become a movie star. You're not a celebrity athlete, celebrity actress. You're not the president of the United States. You're not the vice president. You have no big title, because most of us don't. But you have a legacy of honor. And that's greatness. And that legacy is built right into the pledge. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. There it is. There's the path to greatness, to the legacy of honor, and I'll teach them to those I love. Well, it's been my privilege to be able to present to you the dimensions of survival that we all have, just as normal, regular human beings. And as normal, regular human beings, how we can achieve true greatness through your legacy of honor. Thank you very much for allowing me to bring this to you.